hidden scam that erased black Native Americans from history. The $5 Indian. After slavery, the U.S. government promised land and resources to Native Americans. But here's the twist. White people found a loophole. For just $5, they could pay to have their names added to Native American tribal rolls, claiming Native heritage and stealing land that was meant for the real indigenous people.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to What 5HT channel, K&J What 5HT channel. And, where we talk about many things on this channel. And the what stands for world, health, academia, and times. We discuss topics within that range right there. So that's pretty much vast. It's broad. It's far-reaching. So, we can just about talk about all the things that is important to us as far as our growth in life, whether it be emotional, spiritual, physical, and all the above. And 5H's, like always, is when we dealing with the truth, which we try to stick with on this channel here. Not a lot of propaganda. We just try to stick with truths. And when you're sticking with truth, we know that the truth hurts in most instances, especially if you don't want to accept it, and it makes it hard. But the truth helps. It's healthy, and ultimately the truth heals, bringing us to a place where we can grow and develop in each one of those perspective areas that we need. So I was just, it's been a minute, man, since I've been here. I know it's been a whole lot of things going on, a lot of tweaking, rebooting, and figuring out which way we want to carry this thing. I know I've been talking about, I want to get some guests on the show. I've been trying to line it up as best possible. Want to make sure that when we do get the guests, that they'll both be in a place where they're able to deliver the on the topics and the messaging that we're aiming to provide for you guys here, because we feel that it's very important and we don't take it lightly. So I would guess hopefully we'll be bringing them up soon. I'm gonna try to stick with each perspective generation. We mostly deal with babies boomers here from 1946 to 1964, and Gen Xers from 1965 to 1980, and ultimately the millennials from 1981 to 1996, carrying us to Gen Z, a very important generation, 1997 to 2012, and then our last and latest generation, which is Generation Alpha, from 2013 until present. We even have to talk about them because I was saying something on the last post pertaining to an incident that happened when I was down in Memphis last, and I was visiting with my mom, and we just happened to go in the living room, kind of looking at a few things on TV, on the news, I'll say, which I try to stay away from. I usually would be really big on news, but right now it's so propaganda driven, man. You try to get people to sway in the directions that I'll say our political leaders and our analysts and commentators and anchormen, which they strive to carry us in a certain direction. It doesn't matter which stations you listen to. I know most of the stations are in line with each other. Then you might have one or two stations that might try to be a little bit different, but however, they're all the same. Trust me on that. No, but I'm saying that to say, reason I spoke on Generation Alpha, because like I said, when I was last in Memphis visiting with my mom, came over. That's when Trump was in Memphis and he was visiting. He stopped by Elvis and all this. It's just a lot of rhetoric. But what really caught my attention was they said that a 7-year-old got robbed. A 7-year-old. He was robbed. Gunpoint. Robbed. Yeah. What are we going to do, Memphis? I'm trying to figure this thing out, man. I know you say you don't like what the image in the White House is doing and what he does, but I can tell you one thing. If you don't like him, you may as well not stop there. Bring it on down to the rest. Bring it down to the local government. Not like them as well, because they're the one that's allowing this thing to go on. So I thought that was really, really bold and bad. I just didn't like to hear that. And even on that note right there, I was telling my mom, well, yeah, it was a Friday evening. I said, let me get up and get out of here so I can let these people have these streets at this time of the day. It's Friday. It's a nice day. It's warm. I can imagine what can happen. So let me get up out of this city. And I meant it. I really meant it. Being a native of Memphis, born and raised there, I was ready to get up out of there at that instant. A 7-year-old being robbed? That's crazy. Come on, Memphis. You can do better. Yeah. And before I forget, I want to wish my youngest sister happy birthday. Her birthday is today, March 31st. And I hope everything that she's striving to do and to be moving forward in her life, that she'll get all those things. And that you just enjoy this day. Happy birthday, sis. And speaking on that, I got something I want to talk about. This is going to be a very sensitive topic. And at this point, really, when I get to those places where I say the topics is going to be very sensitive, it doesn't bother me as much to deliver this message as it used to. You know, trying to be what people always say, politically correct, and trying to find a way to say it and how to say it so it come across. It doesn't matter. The truth hurts no matter how I say it. I can say it in a harsh tone, I can say it in a melancholy tone, or I can say it in the softest, sweetest tone that I can find. And if it's the truth and you don't want to accept it, it's still gonna hurt. It doesn't really matter. So I'm past that now. What we're going to talk about here. I'm talking to you right now, my millennials and my Gen Zers, so you can pass this on to Generation Alpha. Generation X and baby boomers, you guys can take this how you like it and how you want. And, you know, hopefully it'll help you as well. But I know I was raised in the same generation, so I know how most of you guys feel, especially when you already been a partaker of this thing I'm about to talk about, and you've been pushing this thing that I'm talking about, and you actually been enjoying this thing that I'm going to be talking about. Well, I want to drop some truths on you, okay? Let's start off like, for instance, tomorrow. They call it what? April the 1st. Yeah, you know where I'm going. April Fool's Day. Yeah, I've been a part of that, participated in it. Wasn't one of my best days. You know what I'm saying? Because us in this culture here in America, we got so many holidays that doesn't mean anything, especially in your life spiritually, I'm going to say. I don't know how you take it socially, but spiritually has absolutely, it's meaningless, except in one area. It is pushing you in a direction to, I'll say, be a partaker of this ritual. Remember, we're going to stick with this. A ritual doesn't care what you believe. A ritual cares what you do. And in most instances, a lot of these holidays, people might say, well, I don't believe in it, but I, see what I'm saying? When you say I don't believe in it and you use the word but, that means you changing the sentence from what you said at first. I don't believe in it, but, okay, you just changed everything that was you said prior. That's where the ritual come in at. Doesn't care what you believe. It just cares what you do. April Fool's Day. What's that? What is that about? Pranking, making pranks, you know.
Now it is time to connect the dots when we make the news make sense. It's the one day of the year where pranks are practically encouraged and no one is safe.
April Fool's Day is all about fun and foolery, but where did it come from? Let's connect the dots. The exact origins aren't clear, but some link it to ancient Rome's Hilaria Festival or a 16th century calendar change. When some people stuck to the old New Year in April, they were mocked as April Fools. The tradition spread, especially in Europe, and pranks became part of springtime celebrations. In France, people still tape paper fish on each other's backs as a joke. Over the years, it's grown into a global day of mischief. Even major brands and news outlets have joined in with viral pranks. like Taco Bell claiming it bought the Liberty Bell, or the BBC's fake story about spaghetti trees. While it's not an official holiday, April 1st is now a chance to laugh, surprise someone, or fall for a joke yourself. Just remember to take it with a smile. And that's connecting the dots.
However, we'll bring fun into it. Sometimes the pranks are really, really funny, and sometimes the pranks don't come across too well because some people don't pretty much jive with pranks and games and jokes, especially those that's moving on in life and trying to be serious about life. Okay. And then some people might say, loosen up. Well, let's just talk about this April Fool's Day. Okay. Here we go. We're going to start. We can't ever get away from this Roman type of rule and this Roman culture. I don't care what you think. In this day and time, even since the time of Yeshua, we cannot get away from the Roman influence and impact on our world today. So I'm going to start off by saying Pope Gregory the 13th. Every time I'm talking about something, why are we always talking about a pope that makes these decisions that we live and thrive off today? You can say that, no, I don't. Yes, you do. And I'm going to show you how you do. I'm going to show you how you really a Roman citizen. We are Roman citizens. I'm going to show you how we are Roman citizens. You can't get away from it. They done covered every base. The only thing you can do is clean house and see where you can start afresh and pray to the Most High that he can lead you in the way that you need to go. Back to April Fool's Day. Pope Gregory the 13th introduced the Gregorian calendar in October 1582 to reform the inaccurate Julian calendar. To align the calendar with the season, 10 days were skipped. Listen to me now. Thursday, October the 14th, 1582 was followed immediately by Friday, October the 15th, 1582. I'm saying this for a reason because I'm going somewhere with this now. You trust me. Thursday, Friday. Okay, back to April Fool's Day. He changed the Julian calendar, which was set in place by Julius Caesar. All the Bible readers and scholars, you know of this guy, Julius Caesar. And what did he change the calendar from that predates the Julian calendar? It is called the lunar calendar. The lunar calendar in which ancient Hebrews, Phoenicians, and all lived by. That's how they counted time, by counting the moons. New moon, full moon, half moon, first quarter, last quarter. You get it? You get where I'm going with this? So everything was based off the lunar calendar. And at that time, I'm finna drop it on you, it was 13 months in a year, not 12. It was 28 or 20, they'll say 28 or 29.5 days in each month. So why did they feel the need to change all this? Why did Julius Caesar say we're going to change this? Because remember, Rome is coming into a new place now. It's in power. We're going to change all of this. You're going to live off everything we say. You're going to live off everything we do. You're going to live off everything we believe. And first of all, and most of all, they worship and believe in the sun god. Yes, they believe the sun god and they worship the sun god. Therefore, the lunar calendar, which is, moon, lunar, moon, in which the ancient people lived by and counted their days and season by, which was accurate and in line with what? What am I about to say? What am I about to say? Gen Zers. What am I about to say? Millennials. It was in line with the universe. In line with the universe. So here, now if they changed it all, then that means we're what? We're no longer in line or in sync with the universe or nature, which we are a part of. So now you go from lunar to the solar calendar. Solar meaning what? Sun. Okay, then that's what I'm saying. They were sun worshipers, right? So stick with me on this now. So he changed the calendar. And why did he change the calendar? Because there was a time when the first month of the year was declared March. Yeah, March, pretty much March, April, Nissan. Check out the words that I'm giving you. Nissan, March and April, the beginning of the year, the new year, spring festival. That's when everything comes back alive in the spring. So what he did was he changed the calendar, right? And it actually spread it around the world. Everybody began to accept it. The Julian calendar was overestimated the solar years. It overestimated the solar years. And they say it was causing the date of Easter to drift. See where I'm going? I told you I'm going somewhere. So tomorrow is not only April Fool's Day. Tomorrow is quote unquote Passover. We're going to talk about that. Okay? So the Julian calendar, right? April Fool's Day. So, because I said we was going to talk about the April Fool's Day, but I had to tell you, I had to show you first how the Pope pretty much changed the first of the year, right? So here we go with April Fool's Day. The exact origin of April Fool's Day, shrouded in mystery, the various theories pointing to ancient festivals, calendar shifts, and literal references. While the day is celebrated worldwide with pranks and hoax, historians generally agree that it developed through a combination of European traditions. The most widely cited theory suggests that tradition began in France in the 1500s. King Charles IX ordered a switch from the Julian calendar, where the new year began around April the 1st, to the Gregorian calendar, which moved the new year to January the 1st. They moved all this stuff around, y'all. So the first of the year, actually, we no longer celebrate it. We celebrate the first of the year when King Charles ordered it to be changed, when Pope Gregory did his thing, and now we're in the Gregorian calendar. So now our new year begins in January. Oh man, how they change all the laws of nature and get us out of sync and out of balance with who we really are. We can't even think right no more. We think a day is a day, and it's not really even that day. Man, this is something else. Okay, here we go. This is the fool part right here. Those who were slow to hear the news, meaning when the year was changed, the new year from April to January, from April the 1st to January the 1st, when the new year actually changed, right? The people that were slow to hear the news or refused to acknowledge the change, they continued to celebrate New Year's on April 1st. This is their thing. They've been doing it all their lives. These individuals were marked and called April Fools and had pranks played on them. You see where April Fool's Day came from? These were the people that continued to acknowledge the first of the year being in April, March, April type of situation, because they wasn't doing that January the 1st thing anymore. So they say they was either slow to hear the news or they refused to accept it. So they were called April Fools. How you like that? April Fool? So now these festivals all ties in with Latin traditions and you name it, man. So I'm saying all this to say that we continue to live in this Roman culture, and we refuse to think that we are part of it. Let me tell you something. The Holy Roman Catholic Church, I'll say, supposed to be the universal church. It's declared the universal church. And then a lot of people will say, no, it isn't. Well, yes, it is, because everything they said, you still do it today, and we still go by it. Can't get around it. That's all I'm going to tell you. Even when you go to the days of the week, I'm finna show you something right now. Like, take, for instance, let's do this New Year thing again. Now, let's do the months, I'll say. Now, let's start with March, Nisan. The month of Nisan, March, okay? March being one. April, May, June, July, August, September, with Sep meaning 7, okay? October, Op meaning 8, right? November, No meaning 9, and December, Dessa meaning 10. See how that, now you see how the months kind of go back in sync now when you do it in that order. Now, if you do it from January, October being 8, October is the 10th month. When you go from January with your main man, Pope Gregory, the Gregorian calendar. See, if you start in January and get to October, that's 10. Doesn't line up. 10, December. Now, if you start with March and get to October, that's 8. It begins to go back in sync. Let me tell you something, my friend. We've been out of sync for a long time. What we do about it? What do we do about it? See, because we know about all these holidays that's been introduced and given to us, and some pushed on us, some we accepted it, some was forced on us, some peer pressured on us, or some we just say that we're going to do this thing anyway because it's fun. All of these holidays. How many holidays or actual holy days do you know about from Leviticus, the 23rd chapter? And if you do know about them, can you tell me how you celebrate them? And if you celebrate them, can you tell me when you celebrate them? This is not to make anyone look or feel bad. This is a real question. Because like I tell you, when these millennials and these Gen Z and even Generation Alpha start to read and look at stuff and put stuff together and line it up with all the information they have that we never had, we was never afforded, and you can't answer these questions, then they don't feel the need to listen to you about anything, to be honest with you. I know that sounds a little harsh, but it's the truth. So, if you don't know about those days or festivals or holy days, which we call holidays, holy days or high days that's listed in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, then maybe you should read Leviticus and see what those days really are and how they come into play. Which leads me to what? Passover. So why is it that Passover changes? Why is it that Passover change? What makes Passover change? That day change every year. Now, let's read Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Okay, I'm going to start at the, I may as well start at the beginning, because I was going to start at the number. I'm going to start at the beginning. It said, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord, which shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. You shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. These are the feasts of the Lord, even the holy convocation. which ye shall proclaim in their season. In the 14th day of the first month, at evening is the Lord's Passover. On the 14th day of the first month, at evening is the Lord's Passover. Pause. Remember I said when was the first month? Now, we ain't going out the Gregorian calendar either. We got to go past that because Gregory wasn't even around at this time. So, do you know Nisan? The 14th day of the first month? Okay. The 14th day of the first month at evening is the Lord's Passover, because the day starts in the evening and it ends in the evening. And you can find that references at the beginning all the way in the book of Genesis when he was going through creation. He said the first and he said in the evening until the next day was what? A day. So, in the evening, not in the morning. They changed that too. I told you can't get away from it. We are Roman citizens, whether you like it or not. Now, the 6th verse read, Leviticus 23:6. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. The 14th is the Lord's Passover. The 14th day of the first month. So how come it changes with us? Why sometimes it didn't even land in March. Sometimes it's in April this, April that. And then I'm going to tell you something. Go ahead and Google it so they can go and run, so they can lead you down the rabbit hole and tell you why it changes and how they try to line it up. Had not Gregory or Julian changed the calendars, none of this would be necessary for them to try to line it up so it can change and be in sync on certain days. So now there's just a ball of confusion. And he has taken no part in confusion. He takes no part at all in confusion. Yes. All right, everyone, we back again. Like I was just saying about that confusion, it's a big ball of confusion. I know if you guys from the millennials, not the millennials, I mean the baby boomers and the Gen Xers, you know what I'm talking about when I say a ball of confusion. Temptations, right? A big ball of confusion. And we're not trying to involve ourselves in confusion, for he is not the author of confusion. That's what the Most High said in his word, the Spirit of the Most High, I say. So, and all of this is confusion. Yeah, and I say that to say this. If we know that in our time, and in what I just expressed to you, how all of this has been changed with the April Fool situation, changing the first month of the year from to January, and now everything is off link. So we all are part of it. So what would you consider yourself, or who would you consider yourself? Do you consider yourself the April Fool group, or the group that accept what the Roman Empire has imposed on us through first Julius Caesar with the Julian calendar, and then with Pope Gregory called himself updating it, or we'll say bringing it up to date to where it's supposed to be more accurate. We're keeping up with Passover, in which they've changed to Easter now. So, which one are we? Are we the April Fool? Or are we the one that rides and roll as a Roman citizen? I'm just asking a question. That's all. And speaking of confusion, let's just talk about something. This is coming up, right? Good Friday. And we know what Good Friday is supposed to be. They said Good Friday was the day that Christ, or Yahshua, was hung on the cross and crucified. And I'm going to tell you about this now. So that's supposed to be Good Friday, right? So that being the case, This is a question that I'm pretty sure that I'm going to pose to you guys. And it's a question that you probably had for the longest. I had it. I probably never questioned the people that I should have questioned, which is supposed to be the spiritual or the so-called spiritual leaders today and in my time. But they teach the same thing. So we got Good Friday coming up. And by the way, Palm Sunday was just this Sunday, and that's not even located anywhere in Scripture. That's a man's tradition. Call it what you will, and I understand. It's something that you've been involved in. It's something that you enjoy. Fine. I'm just asking a question. If it wasn't mandated, you enjoy it. It's a man's tradition. How does it benefit you? If the Most High didn't mandate it, as he did with his festivals that he did mandate. And I gave you the festivals. I tell you what, before I talk about this, Good Friday, I'm going to go through it one more time. Let's do this here. It's 4 spring festivals, right? You got Passover, you got unleavened bread, you got first fruit, and you got Pentecost. Now you got 3 fall festivals, which is the Feast of Trumpet, the Day of Atonement, and the Feast of Tabernacle. See, if you didn't know that, I just called it out to you, right? So these are the festival that was mandated, and they're also called holy days or high days, right? Just read it. You find it. Look it up. Check it. Check me out. Fact check me and everything. Do all of that. So, and there was also mandated that these days would be treated as a Sabbath. I'm saying that for a reason. Now, these festival days or holy days or high days, they were to be treated as a Sabbath. That means you quit your work, you don't do anything. And traditionally, they held to that. The Israelites held to that. Of course, all that has been changed now because we're living up on a Roman system. Whether you like it or not, we are living and operating on the Roman system. If you celebrate the first of the year on July the 1st, that's Roman, okay? Look, check this out. I've been here a long time, celebrated, been a part of it, all of that, because that's what was taught to me. Now I'm trying to bring something to you and inform you to bring you up to date. We're trying to get back in sync as I talk to my millennials and my Gen Zers with the universe, or being one with the universe. When everything was aligned properly, now it's out of line. Everything is out of whack, and we out of whack. If you look at us today, it speaks for itself. I don't have to say a whole lot, and you know we out of whack. You just want to believe something different, but I'm going to give you the truth. Remember those hurting truths and those hard truths? Well, let me help you with something. Okay, now, Good Friday. I'm going to show you how they indoctrinate us at an early age. I just learned this recently. This is a song that I didn't know anything about, but I just learned it recently because of the little kids that run around me that happen to be mine. And we watch these little supposed to be kid-friendly shows to teach them certain things, to bring them along. Okay. I'm finna throw something out there at you. I know some of the moms have heard it, especially the Gen Z moms and the millennial moms. I'm not sure if any of the Xers or the baby boomers have heard it, but maybe you have. I'm finna throw something out at you. It's called Hot Cross Buns. You heard the song? Hot Cross Buns, Hot Cross Buns. 1 a penny, 2 a penny, Hot Cross Bun. Give it to your daughters, give it to your sons. 1 a penny, 2 a penny, Hot Cross Buns. If I were to tell you that is actually tied into Good Friday from the British Empire, if I were to tell you that, how would you feel about that? And it's tied into Easter as well. You can find it in the British history, food history. It's in a blog. They'll tell you it's tied in. The hot cross bun is this little bun that they have with a cross on top of it, and it's glazed and all of that. It looks friendly, very kid friendly, and a song that they can sing along with and learn. But what are you teaching them, academia? What are you teaching them? Hot cross buns tied in with Good Friday. It's got the cross on the top, signifying Christ or Yeshua being crucified on the cross. And it ties in with the cakes that they were baking in Jeremiah to the Queen of Heaven. I've told you some of this stuff in past posts that we've done. And I know we touched on a little bit of the Christmas holiday, and I didn't go into detail about the Easter holiday, but I kind of threw it in there dealing with Tammuz. You can check that out on Nimrod, the Tower of Bible Truths, on one of our past posts. I kind of dig into Tammuz a little bit. I don't want to go in there right now because it'll take up too much time. And let me tell you something, this has been grueling. Even with this post right here, the system went down today. The system went down, and it stayed down for, who knows, I think about 6 or 7 hours. All this designed for me, I'm thinking not to actually go through with this post because the spiritual battle is strong and it's been going on, but it also further tells me that obviously I'm headed in the right direction. So to just give up and quit it, I refuse to do that. So here I am, I'm right back at you. Yeah, I'm right back at you because the whole system just went down. Just like that. But I'm back at you. Yeah, I'm going to wait this thing out and we're going to get this done. Now, like I was saying about the Good Friday, here's the question, like I said, the question that I've had and I know you've had, and especially our millennials and our Gen Zers, they're going to have this question because we're going to do the math. If Christ or Yeshua was supposed to be crucified on Good Friday, they call it, and taken down so he can be properly put away before the Sabbath. So now, this is the weekly Sabbath that we've been taught. But you cannot get 3 days and 3 nights out of that. It's impossible. No way possible you can get 3 days and 3 nights out of that. And Yahshua said it. He gave it to, that Jonah quote, when the men asked for a sign, he said, this old wicked generation, you guys going to be looking for a sign. I'm not going to give you a sign. The only sign you have is going to be just like when Jonah was in the belly of the great fish. 3 days and 3 nights. Not 3 days and 2 nights. Not 3 days and 2.5 nights. Not 2 days and 3. He said 3 days and 3 nights. So our wonderful pastors, not only in this time, but even in my time, they just wish to run with this Roman Greco teaching, this teaching that they threw in our face after they changed everything at the Nazi Council through Constantine. And then you have people like Pope Gregory coming and signing off on it and changing the calendar the first month of the year to make us all confused, keep us in this ball of confusion. Now you tell me, do the math, how do you get 3 days and 3 nights out of Friday evening, the 9th hour, 3 o'clock on Friday, get them properly put away before the Sabbath at 6 o'clock? The Hebrew Sabbath days, the Hebrew days start at 6 in the evening. From 6 in the evening to 6 the next evening. That's something else they changed. See, ours changed at 12 midnight, 6 hours away. See how all these changes that's come about and got us all out of sync and all out of whack with being one with the universe, or being one with the Creator and what he and how he made us and designed us to be. Okay, so now you got the Hebrew calendar. That's the first January is not the first month. The day doesn't end at 12 midnight. The day ends at 6. So if he was on the cross and got off, and they got him down at 3, They had 3 hours to put them away before the Sabbath. Now let's count Friday night, or let's just go and count Friday for a whole day. Let's see if we can still get 3 days and 3 nights out of that. Friday, one day. Okay. Friday night, that's one night. Saturday, that's 2 days. Saturday night, that's 2 nights. And they say he got up when early Sunday morning. That's what they teach us. That's not 3 days and 3 nights. Come on. And now I already know, like I said, go to your Google and try to figure it out. And let Google continue to mislead you rather than going through the text, dissecting the text, reading the text, and understanding how you get 3 days and 3 nights out of that. Number one, Friday was not the day. That's number one. If you read closely, and I just showed you the feast, unleavened bread was right before that. You know, Joshua, he and the disciples celebrate the Passover right before he was taken away in the Garden of Gethsemane. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So he told them 3 days and 3 nights. Matthew speak of it. They said, look, I want y'all to get a pen and a piece of paper and just write some of these scriptures down, because I'm not going to read them all, because it's too much for me to get to where I'm trying to get to. So I'm gonna give you the verses of scripture. When he told the Pharisees, y'all are a wicked and perverted generation. You just looking for a sign, and the only sign I'm gonna give you is just like the sign of Jonah. So that's Matthew, the 12th chapter, 38th verse through the 40th verse. Check that out. Read it. He said 3 days and 3 nights, clearly. 3 days and 3 nights. So now we got Easter, right, that we deal with. Huh? He rose when? Early Sunday morning. How we know he rose early Sunday morning? All it says is that the women, when they went to the tomb early, the first day of the week, he was not there. When they went to the tomb early, the first day of the week, he was not there. That's what it says, right? He wasn't there. Yeah. So how we know that how we know when the spirit moved on? How we know when the spirit recaptured where it was intended to be from the start? All we know is they got there early, the first day of the week. And the angel said, why you come here looking for him? He's no longer here. I tell you what, if you understand this, do your research, go back to the year that Yeshua was supposedly crucified. That particular year, it was 2 Sabbaths in 1 week. I'm trying to help you now. That's all I'm trying to do. You say, how does 2 Sabbaths be in 1 week? Well, you probably missed what I said earlier. Remember I told you about the festivals? The festivals, and the Most High said, you treat these festivals or these high days or holy days, you treat them as if they were the Sabbath. So that same year, unleavened bread landed in the same week. So you had the Passover meal, which they call the Last Supper. You have him being taken away in the Garden of Gethsemane. That same hour, night. You had him tried the next day, convicted and put on the cross. They rather have Barabbas than Christ. They rather have the murdering spirit that kills, steals, and destroys than their spirit that gives everlasting life and the wisdom of the Most High God. That's what they chose. So now, here we are. You have him. Check it out as we go. They had to get him down because it was also the day of preparation. Look at Luke 22, 7 through 15. Or you can look at Mark 14, 2 through 17. Further evidence, Matthew 26, 17 through 20. The day of preparation is always before the Sabbath. Why they call it the day of preparation? Because they're trying to get everything in order before 6 o'clock that evening. They're trying to get everything in order so they can honor the Sabbath. So they had to get everything in order to honor unleavened bread. Okay? Because they were supposed to be treated as a Sabbath. So they got all their stuff together. The women got all their stuff together before unleavened bread. Now the following day, stick with me. Stick with me. They go to the tomb because they had bought everything that they needed to get them wrapped and get it all together. Because the following day was going to be the weekly Sabbath. Unleavened bread is annually. It comes once a year. The weekly Sabbath comes once a week. It was 2 Sabbaths in that same week. Oh, we're going to find out how you get 3 days and 3 nights. Go tell your pastor. Go tell your pastor to leave that Good Friday alone. Tell him to leave the Good Friday alone. That's why you don't have the millennials. They may come to dress and show their clothes off, though. That's why you don't have the Gen Zers. Even they don't come dressed to show their clothes off. They're tired of the lies. They don't even believe it anymore. Because anybody in their right mind know from Friday to Sunday, you cannot get 3 days and 3 nights. But if you teach this thing properly and you understand that it was 2 Sabbaths in 1 week, then study and show the movement how they went about doing this. Yeah. Remember? Do you remember how this go? The day of preparation is spoken of, Luke 23, 52 through 54. Okay. Sabbath is a high day. Unleavened bread is a holy day and treated as the Sabbath. Remember, you can go all the way back now to, if you want to fact check me, go all the way back to Exodus. During the Passover, what happened during the Passover? Wasn't it the Feast of Unleavened Bread as well? Pick up the book, Pastor. That's all I'm asking you. Teach the Most High people so that they know and understand without being in a ball of confusion. Because that's all this is, a big ball of confusion. Nisan 14th, day of preparation. You'll find that in John 16 and 3. That's between the Tuesday and the Wednesday. Now you got Thursday, Nisan 15th. This the first month of the year, and I'm calling it Nisan. The first day of unleavened bread. The Passover is always on the 14th. Always. We change it because we live up under the Roman system. It's always on the 14th of the first month. Who changed it? He didn't. We did. Oh, I ain't had nothing to do with changing it, but you honor it. You celebrate it. A ritual don't care what you believe, it cares what you do. Nisan is 16th. Okay? Now we got the weekly Sabbath. Nisan is 17th. Now, so we got the day of preparation. That's the Tuesday evening through Wednesday evening. Now we got Thursday evening, which is the 15th. He's been put away. Now we got Friday evening, which is the 16th. This is another day of preparation because we got the weekly Sabbath coming up on that Saturday. Now we got Saturday, the 17th. They said they went to the tomb early the first day of the week, which will be Sunday, which you will be in the building. It's the first day of the week. Now, Nissan 15, 1 day, 1 night. Nissan 16, 1 day, 1 night. Nissan 17, 1 day, 1 night. That's 3 days and 3 nights. It was 2 Sabbaths. It was 2 Sabbaths in 1 week. And it happens because you have what? You have the festivals. Passover, Tabernacle, Pentecost, Feast of Trumpets, Day of Atonement. We don't know nothing about that. I forgot. We New Testament saints. We stay away from the Old Testament. Easter, Istar. Easter. Let me tell you something. All the same person, different name, same person. Different name, same person. Istar, Anna, tied in with Tammuz. Tammuz ties in with Nimrod. Okay? Then you got the Egyptian deities, which would be Isis and Hathor. All the same people, just different names. Then you got the Greco-Roman, which would be Aphrodite, Artemis, and Juno. Look, man, the Anglo-Saxon goddess, Yestra. I know you. I'm throwing it out here with you. So all you just fact check me. Get the names. Ishtar, Aphrodite, Artemis, Juno, and then you have Aina. That's a Sumerian god. All the same woman, same person, different time frame, different nations, same belief, just different names. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. It goes on today. A name can get changed just like that. So I'm saying all of that to say this about this situation, and this is coming up. You know, about the Easter eggs and all of that stuff. You know, we know bunnies don't lay eggs. But I understand it's kid friendly. It's just something for the kids to do. 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. Give it to your daughters. Give it to your sons. 1 a penny, 2 a penny. Hot cross buns. It's just all in good fun. Don't worry. Look at Jeremiah 17, Jeremiah 7, 19 and 20. How he talk about Ashtoreth, the same God, Queen of Heaven. See what I'm saying? All this ties in. Even when you talk about how Ezekiel, how he introduced the Babylonian gods and how they went in captivity. All of this stuff ties in. Then you got the Canaanite goddess, Asherah. That's Asherah. I'm just saying. All the same gods, man. Nations. And then you got the women. I already told you about the women weeping for Tammuz. And I also told you in earlier posts about when Ezekiel say no greater abominations shall there be. I mean, you do far greater. He said more greater abominations will be done in you. than was ever done in Sodom and Gomorrah. More and greater abominations we will do than would ever be done in Sodom and Gomorrah. And let me tell you something. We do it with good fun. We say we do it innocently. We think it's no harm to it. I'm just going to suggest this one. It's not my word. I didn't come up with it. Read it. Read stuff like Ezekiel 8 and 10. Just read it. And then I already told you about Jeremiah. Now, the biggest thing that I want to get out of this is with this ball of confusion thing. It's like I was taught it. Most of you guys, especially if you were baby boomers and Gen Xers, you were taught it. We participated in it. We even had fun times in it. We laughed. We made games out of it. And we pass it on to our kids. Hot cross buns. Give it to your daughters and give it to your sons. We pass it on to the millennials, who pass it on to the Gen Zers, who has begun to reject it because they want to be tied back in to the Most High, but they can't find their way. And they will never be able to find their way if the elders are lost as well and don't know their way. Once again, lost in the wilderness, perish in the wilderness. New generation have to find their own way. They have to fight their own battle. Moses never had to fight a war. All Joshua did was fight to conquer, reject the pagan goddesses and the pagan beliefs. Embrace it or reject it. You cannot get 3 days and 3 nights starting this Good Friday to early Sunday morning, which is the first day of the week. They found him gone. We say he rose on the first day of the week. How do you know? Scripture didn't say that. Scripture says when they went to the tomb, he was already gone. The Bible readers, you guys know that. You guys already know. You guys know it. You know it. We just go along with what's said out of that pulpit, man. We just go along with what's said out of that pulpit. He was gone already. How we know he did not leave that tomb Saturday night? Or how about on the Sabbath, which would have been Saturday before 6 p.m.? They would have never known because they locked in the house at 6 p.m. on the Sabbath, not to even come back outside. So after 6 p.m. on the Sabbath, and they've been in the house all day on the Sabbath, and they get up early the first day of the week and go and he's already gone, who's to say that the resurrection of Christ right here didn't happen on that weekly Sabbath, which was Saturday? And in that same week, we had the Feast of Unleavened Bread, because the Passover predates unleavened bread. Come on, charismatic pastors, make it sound good on Sunday. Don't make it true. Just make it sound good. Oh no, we don't need no truth. While we here looking good with our new outfits on, I want you to make it sound good. Why would I say that? Because this is what we like to hear. This is what we like to hear. We like to hear stuff like this. And I'm coming to you from Isaiah, the 30th chapter. I'm going to start at the 8th verse. It says, "Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come, forever and ever, that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceit." That right there, my friends, is where we are. Easter, Ishtar, Tammuz, rabbits, eggs, ham, you name it. 3 days, 3 nights, from Friday to Sunday morning. Prophesy to us lies. Yeah, I don't want no truth. And when I read the part that this is a rebellious people, lying children, don't just look, don't get me wrong. Do not try to look at Generation Alpha, and do not try to look at Gen Z and say that's who he's talking about. Lying children can be baby boomers. Lying children can be Gen Xers, because we all created by the same creator. Therefore, he is the father of us all. So we all classify as children. Quit trying to throw it off on one group. And then besides, who raised the group? Who raised the Gen Zers? Millennials? Who raised the millennials? Gen Xers. Who raised Gen Xers? Baby boomers. Yeah, we all got, we all, yeah. We all got something in this. This is something that I've always wanted to ask a pastor anyway, to be honest with you, about that 3-day and 3-night thing. I probably didn't give you the totality of it. Maybe like help me understand it better, because I got the scriptures and I understood, but I just don't understand. First of all, just start off with Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, and understand that each festival is to be treated like a Sabbath. And then understand when Christ was crucified that it was 2 Sabbaths in 1 week, and that the preparation was 2 days. It was one preparation when Joseph of Artemis tried to hurry up and get the body down to get it in the tomb. That was 1 day of preparation. The next day was the Feast of Unleavened Bread, so it was treated like a Sabbath. The following day, when the ladies had already went and prepared everything, that first preparation day before the Feast of Unleavened Bread, then they came back the following day, which is the day of preparation again for the annual Sabbath. I know this sounds confusing because it's confusing. They need to teach it in Bible study and we'll sit down and walk you through it. That's what they need to do. So the women was gathering stuff together before that day of preparation on the weekly Sabbath to make sure that they got the body properly cared for. And then that Sabbath came again and they got up the next day to make sure that no one had come and done anything to Yeshua, and he was gone. Get off that Good Friday, hot cross buns, 3 days, 3 nights, when you know, especially if you educated, you know you can't get no 3 days and 3 nights. You just didn't want to ask nobody. You were afraid, and I get it. Because these pastors will check you if you think you're trying to fact check them. You just believe what they say. But no. Isaiah 30, 8 through 10. That's us all day long. Anyway, this has been a good one. It's been grueling. I've been through this spiritual warfare. It took me a while to get to this actual post here. I did do another one that didn't go well. I hadn't launched it yet. We've been making some changes around here little by little. And just as I decide, I'm trying to get all my guests together. I want to get some good quality guests for everyone. I mean, Gen Zers, baby boomers, Xers, millennials. I want a representation out of all of them. Yet to get a millennial yet, but I'll be looking for one. So I thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for bearing with us. I probably said a lot, didn't do a lot of reading, just gave you basically verses of scripture. It's all right sometimes to do your own homework. Precept. When you read about the crucifixion and you read about what was going on at that time in the Gospels, read out of Mark, read out of Matthew, read out of Luke. Look at each one of them accounts because they all give you snippets and bits where you can piece it together. Look for keywords like the day of preparation. Look for those days. Look for a day when the women had a day of preparation and they went and bought all the herbs and everything and the ornaments that they prepared the body in, and then they went down for a Sabbath. Then look for the day when they went to take care. See what I'm saying? Another day of preparation. Fact check me. But I can tell you one thing, you can fact check me. You don't have to fact check your pastor, especially if he's telling you Friday was the day of the crucifixion. So much for that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you. We can't thank you enough. Kay and I have been going through pretty much a lot. We've been going back up and down the road a whole lot. I'm glad that Kay got a chance to see her mom, something that she hadn't done in a while. It's just been I've been all over the place, man. I've been trying to get something done here, and this is probably the longest I've been without posting. And I appreciate you guys just for hanging in there and sticking with me. I really do. You know, so what we're going to do now, we're going to close this out, you know, by saying thank you, like, subscribe, comment if you like, you don't have to. Get your pencil and paper a lot of times when I'm talking. Sometimes I go through the scripture, and in cases like this, I just kind of gave you just verses of scripture. It's all right for you to read for yourself. Sometimes you get it better. Sometimes you get it better. It sticks with you. So we're going to close out now with our K Miller today, our mystery building. And on the front end, I hope you guys got the message of what we loaded. on the very front end of this video. Thank you again. And like I always say, until I see you the next time, what the flux.